right, start with core web vitals. We hear this term a lot, and many business leaders aren't sure what it actually means for their bottom line. So, Matt, can you break down core web vitals in plain English? What are we actually measuring, and why should CEOs and CMOs care about these metrics beyond just Google rankings?
Yeah, the actual terms are complicated, and even like the three-letter acronyms. Roger was making fun of me earlier because I can't remember them all the time. But if you think about it from a user's perspective, right? Google is basically trying to say, because they used to say performance was based on page load, but that didn't really mean anything because page can load, but they have things like they call it content layout shift. So if you've ever watched a page load in and then things are moving around, like the logo moves, shifts around, the navigation shifts around, that's a layout shift. So it's a really jarring experience from an end users because obviously the page isn't loaded yet. So they put these three metrics in place to basically give the idea of when a user is looking at the page, what's the most optimal for them to start engaging with it. So that's the simple way of putting it, I guess. The actual metrics are really just scales of how you improve all three to get to the perfect level.
So, from development perspective, what are the most common issues you see that hurt these scores, and what's your approach to fixing them?
Bloated WordPress themes are the worst thing. I, I would say. I mean, that's the easiest area to like critique, I would say. And not just WordPress, like any theme out of the box almost that has a bunch of extra features added to it, right? Like a bunch of sliders and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I only get exposure to a few sites that we work on, and I know Roger Kinsta sees it across the board. I don't know if you guys get complaints at Kinsta for slow loading sites. Um,
Well, yeah, I mean, the interesting position for a host, right, is we kind of get blamed for everything,
right.
because and so that's where it gets a little bit tricky, right? Especially for our support team, is trying to like figure out, hey, is this on the hosting side? Is this on the website side? And then somehow, diplomatically point out, hey, your website could use a little bit of help here, and that's where Endeavor comes in, of course.
Yeah, the reality is, if it's a front end user experience, it's not going to be your host. Let's be real. I mean, there's things that can be the host if there's like a global outage or something that's causing things to load slowly, but most likely it's the theme. So, like things to fix would be fonts. That's the biggest like layout shift thing where fonts are loading in, but they're loading in last and then they change. So sizing, everything changes around. If you can load things in the correct order, things that are above the fold. So your primary image, your logo, like I said, your navigation, these things that are above that area of a fold are very important to load instantly and first. And no, not really too many out of the box themes will do that for you. You have to do some customizations. There's some plugins that'll help around that process, but I found even those will only get you so far, and they'll help you load certain things, but not the full like first view right away.